Hey everybody, thanks for joining us for a special edition of the pod this week. Just to let you guys know, sports aesthetics has been something that I've been very interested in for a long time. I get into it a little bit in this bonus edition of the pod. But the short story here is this is something I've wanted to chat with Garrett about for a long time, and I appreciate his willingness to do so, and I hope we can touch on some more of this topic in the future. But for now, please enjoy our recap of our favorite and least favorite uniforms in NHL history. As always, thanks for listening, and please remember like, subscribe, comment, all that kind of stuff. We really do appreciate it. Thanks. One thing I did get under the Christmas tree this year, Garrett, is a
Ooh,
book that, to be honest with you, I've wanted for a couple years. I am a self-proclaimed Jersey nerd. I keep up to date with all the new uniforms in all the major sports leagues, all the logos, all everything aesthetic wise. And I've been a very long time member, a little bit of a shout out here, of the sportslogos.net community. There's one of the few online message boards that are left. But
the message board?
absolutely.
Amazing. Our second sponsor of the day.
There's actually kind of a loose connection there. The gentleman that started sportslogos.net, his name is Chris Creamer. His wife is friends with a friend of ours. She's played on our softball team. Her husband has been a longtime member of our softball team, Allie. Um, so this Chris Creamer guy that started this website is married to a friend of Allie's. So there's
Oh,
a
funny.
yeah, it's a funny world because I've been on those message boards for years before we even met Allie, and kind of it's been one of those talking points that we've always been able to go back to because that was one of the first things we kind of had in common there. Anyways, the gentleman that runs this website wrote a book um, 5 years ago, and it basically is a brief overview of every NHL team that existed at the
I know where
time.
this is going, and I would be honored to produce this audiobook for him.
It's a great book because it's like a coffee table kind of book, so it's got a lot of pictures of the uniforms and all that. It gives a brief overview of every team's history, how the name came to be, how the logo came to be, and a brief overview of their uniform history. So, all that to say, I, I'm not going to say I forced you, but I nudged you into making your picks for your top three favorite and least favorite NHL uniforms of all time. This has been something I've wanted to do for a long time, so I appreciate you indulging me in this.
Of course.
I'll get things started here. We have a couple honorable mentions for, let's call them, they didn't quite make the chopping block for the our favorite uniforms list. And for me, the honorable mention goes to the current Anaheim Ducks uniform. If it was up to me, they'd be wearing black helmets and black pants. But otherwise, this uniform is a fantastic combination of the current color scheme since they've moved away from the Mighty Duck era on the old Mighty Ducks era logo, a bit modernized, but you've got that awesome duck goalie mask logo that they came into the NHL with. in the Anaheim Ducks, cup winning era colors. And I thought they've done a really great job of merging those two eras together to come up with a really cool looking uniform.
This is
And
definitely the Taylor Swift of hockey uniforms.
you had an honorable mention. Let's bring that up here and I'll let you take it away.
I, um, under threat of intimidation and physical violence, I kind of enjoyed scrolling through these jerseys, despite fearing for my life. And came across this one. I think this one's great. The New York Americans from 1925, 1926. I love the Star Spangled Shoulders. I think that's cool. And red, white, and blue is a classic color combination. You can't really get away from it. But
Both team
yeah, I think
named
it's bold. I think
Americans.
it's strong, just like New York and America. So I think it's cool. I like that one a lot. Number three on
It's
my list.
gimmicky but fun. I love this
Oh, you
uniform
want it to
too.
be a bit gimmicky. Like
Of
you want it to
course,
stand out.
absolutely.
You can't just be stripes and brown pants.
Yeah, well, no, I agree 100%, and I love it
And
too.
think about it
It's
this way: someone is sewing that sweater. So
and we're
sewing in all
talking
those
like
stars.
yeah,
Credit the seamstresses of the
in
1920s.
well in
Our
1920s
third
that
sponsor of the week.
there you go. In the 1920s, those uniforms were sweaters. They were not, a uniform with a crest sewn on the front. So
Somebody's
that's
grandma probably knit that. There's
yeah,
probably a team of grandmas knitting
the
these
New
sweaters
the New York
in
Americans
the roaring
grandmas.
20s, thinking like, this is a great gig. It's going to last forever.
Okay, moving on to the official list. We will start on the negative side of things. And for me, the first um, of the top three worst uniforms, in my opinion, is the 2008 to 2011. So this is the last years of the Atlanta Thrashers. This blue monstrosity.
You can tell because they really phoned this in.
It's so to put some context into this, this was the period of time where Reebok was making the NHL uniforms
Right.
or the uniform supplier. And a big thing when they switched over to these Reebok, they called them the Edge jerseys, was moving from having a um, like a hem stripe, like a stripe that famous on the Leafs jerseys, the two white stripes that were all the way across like the waist, right? And they
Right.
moved, remember the Leafs first jersey in that era didn't have any stripes on the bottom. It was just a blue shirt with a white leaf and then a
It
couple
sucked.
stripes on the sleeves. And Reebok's thing was using these like
The piping.
vertical piping and like for whatever reason filling in the area on the sides of the uniforms and not having a traditional like hem stripe back and forth. I don't like I think it's much better executed on this third jersey that the Thrashers had at the time, ignoring the socks. But it's dumb. It 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 has no balance in the uniform either because you have on one sleeve this navy blue top of the sleeve that doesn't continue to the other sleeve and the word Atlanta running down it, which I mean, nobody was showing up to the games in Atlanta. I guess they needed to clarify where this team was from, but it's
Well, the
double
logo
blue.
doesn't do it any favors
The one on
in
the
terms of
front,
indicating where they're from. It's just
right?
a bird
Absolutely.
stuck in a tornado.
Mhm.
I think it's a bird.
It is a bird. It is. It's the thrasher is the state bird of Georgia, I believe.
Oh,
That's where that comes from, but yeah, it's certainly a very stylized, colored. Because I think that bird is like just a
monochrome.
plain like brown. colored bird in
Right.
real life, but this is obviously orange, and yes, he's in a tornado and stuff. But yeah, I I didn't dislike the Thrasher's primary logo, but it's this bright orangey yellowy thing on this bright blue uniform. The white numbers don't pop enough for my liking from the baby bluish uniform. They've got these piping lines on the front of the jersey that are not replicated on the back of the, like it's just completely mismatched,
It's a
and
mess.
yeah, it's a mess. It really feels incomplete to me. So I'm not sad they moved to Winnipeg because of that uniform. I'll hand it over to your first nomination for the worst of lists.
Okay, so this is my. Let me clarify. I love the color scheme on this. I love the fleur de lis on this. My gripe with this and why it's on the list is the logo is just awful.
Mhm.
For the longest time, I don't know what it is. It looks like an
Okay.
elephant juggling a ball in its trunk. This could be like
It's
the Republican hockey team. Are they the elephants? I think so.
I
So I
have an
just I
answer for
that
you.
logo is just I get it now. Why don't it's a stylized N,
Right.
but
That
I'm just saying
also
it
is
could be an
meant
igloo. It looks like somebody could live in there. Is that where a
that's
Nordique lives? Inside a
that
stylized N?
it is a stylized N slash hockey stick and puck, obviously. Um,
Oh, not obviously. Hold on. Let's slow down a
okay.
bit.
Okay. All right. Sorry. It is a
Potentially an
stylized
elephant
N.
learning to
It,
juggle.
and it's also supposed to give the vibe, yes, of a Nordique or of a igloo, sorry, but it's also supposed to at the same time look like a a guy bending over to get the hockey to
Are
like
you serious?
use
That's
the
supposed to be a
hockey
guy
stick.
bending over. I'm being mooned
That's
by this logo.
no,
Is
no,
this the
no.
missing piece to the Montreal
This
Canadiens
is
toilet seat? This is the
this is
butt?
this is his leg kind of thing, and it,
That's not real. That's something somebody made up on Reddit.
it is something that
Come
I've
on.
heard in the past. I don't know how official that last part is, but it's definitely
I can see it quite clearly. Like it does look like someone bending over in hockey pants.
it does. Yes, I agree.
But
And I'm not sure how
that's just
official that
hilarious.
is,
That
but
makes it even
I've
now
heard
do I
of
like it better because it's ridiculous or do I hate it even more because it's just like I can hear Steven just going,
yeah. And now I will tell you this. Okay, so that last part, I'm not 100% certain that it's something that was officially stated by the team,
it's
but
way more interesting if it is.
I've definitely heard that it's supposed to be like a guy taking a face off or something to that effect.
No, this is clearly like the rear view of him bending over.
Oh,
Oh, is the little ball supposed to be his head? Is they
no, no.
bending way down to get the face off?
No, no, it's just he's bending over with the hockey stick is what it's supposed to be. This is supposed to be like a side profile.
Oh,
That's
I didn't
what
get
I've
that at
heard.
all. I got that rear view
Yeah, I've never seen that before, but now that you say it, I can't unsee it.
because of the.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that
Oh,
both Quebec teams have a logo related to poop. Uh, I'm a
oh, okay.
7-year-old in a 41-year-old's body.
And I love it.
But I do like
Uh,
the colors and the fleur de lis. That's cool. But just the logo's so dumb.
hmm.
Well, you know what?
Did
It's got a
you?
lot of history to it now, so maybe
I don't know if it's here, but it's not here.
card laid's a card played. Moving on.
I'm I'm gonna just because I'm not sure if you ever saw before the Nordiques moved to Colorado, like as they were on the verge of, they announced a uniform and logo, like a whole identity refresh.
Is it an
Have you?
igloo behind an avalanche?
No, I have to pull this up though.
Careful. Got a lot of tabs open.
This is it right here. They came up with a logo that's a husky,
Right.
and the uniforms are teal and purple and black and white. And the only reason we did not get these uniforms is because the Nordiques ended up moving to Colorado to become the Avalanche. That could be what the Nordiques probably recolored back into red and white and blue because, as years pass, teams tend to go back to their old colors, but which will come up again later. But imagine that they didn't move and this was on the ice instead of the igloo N.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I think they're horrible, but
Yeah, it's very like
it's too far of a departure from what they had before.
ECHL.
Yeah, yeah, very minor
Too far of a
league.
departure from like the Nordiques jersey is very French. The colors, the fleur-de-lis. I
Mm-hmm.
like that. You
Mm-hmm.
can tell where this team's from by looking at their jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
From like my vantage point, it looks like it says Nordkes. And I get there's an
yeah,
I in there, but like the I is
yeah. It looks like a nail or something, not an eye. Maybe a
yeah.
spike
Is
or
it upside
something.
down?
No, I don't. Well,
I think it looks a little bit thicker at the
uh,
bottom. Maybe that's just an optical illusion because it's in the triangle. But like it's
maybe.
they don't even like. All right,
Yeah.
this if
Well,
I'd known this existed, this might have been my worst jersey ever. But it can't
it
count because
never
it never
exactly.
got out of the gate. But
Let's move on to something good. I'm
this
gonna
is why we can't put a team back there because they want to use these jerseys. Just
uh
burn the jerseys
get the old
and
ones
give
back.
Gary Bettman his bribe or whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to my third
Yeah, let's move on.
place best uniforms, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So surprise, surprise, my honorable mention just was about gushing about how much I liked the combination of the two eras. Well, the white version of this is the first jersey I ever bought with my own money that I earned.
Wow,
I,
what you
I
been doing? Dishes at Henry's.
no, it was delivering the Brampton Guardian.
Whoa!
So even before then, uh, but I
Wonder if they
still
want to
have it.
sponsor a podcast.
It doesn't fit me at all. It's
I
way
don't
too small.
imagine it would.
um, but I loved the movies, and then when the team came, it was just like, oh my goodness, it's like the team from the movie. It was
It's like a
just
movie came to life.
the striping, the like kind of diagonal striping on it. It was very unique at the time.
It was.
The color palette was very unique at the time. I love the purple jersey, or sorry,
I don't love. Like, I'll let you finish.
eggplant jersey.
Eggplant. There you go.
That's the official name of the color. Yeah, what else can I say besides for I'll full on just say it. This is a nostalgia pick for me, and I don't even care because it's still fantastic to me. I would buy another one tomorrow.
No, I love it. I
Hmm.
don't. I confess I don't love the eggplant and green, but I love the white, green, and eggplant. And I love like the logo is. You look at that and you know exactly what it is. You
Small
know.
correction, it's not green, it's jade. This is the level of Jersey nerdiness you're gonna get out of me tonight.
Oh, you're correcting me.
Yeah, the green is jade.
Well, jade is a shade of green, so I'm not wrong. It's Jade, Garrett.
Eggplant and jade, all
Read a
right?
message board, why don't you?
That's right. For 20 years. Um, on to your pick before I become too Jersey
This is
snobby.
our first actual.
First actual good Jersey Good.
I really like this Washington Capitals Screaming Eagle jersey. That's
Me
what I'm
too.
calling it anyway.
That's yeah.
Now I don't have
It's,
fond memories of it because I remember vividly. I think this was the jersey they were wearing back in uh yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have the years wrong. No, it's 95, 97. Yeah, so this is around the same time they were playing the Leafs in the playoffs. And we were on like the grade 8 trip and they got eliminated by the Washington Capitals. I remember watching it on we were at this ranch and it was on in the cafeteria. But I love that Screaming Eagle. It's an exciting logo.
it
It's got the
is.
stars in it. Like again, you look at it and you get an idea of what's happening here. And yeah, I just think that logo and I like the color scheme.
It's a unique color scheme,
It's a
kind of
unique
like the
color scheme.
Ducks.
It's an exciting look.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, then that we had like in Brampton, we had the Brampton Capitals. I think they were
Yep.
a junior B team,
Sure. Yep.
and they basically just ripped off their other jersey
Yep.
and
For sure.
logo. So
For
seeing
sure.
something like this was really cool.
Yeah.
After seeing the Brampton Capitals logo for so long everywhere at Peel, I'm gonna say it again
Yeah. It's not a hospital.
at Memorial Arena.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I really like the logo. I like the colors.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna move. Well, there you go. I moved on. My next worst is the current iteration of the New Jersey Devils complete. This complete uniform set is garbage to me. A jersey that says Jersey on it? Are you kidding me? Like, why don't you put helmet on
Do
the
their
side of the
pants say
helmet?
pants?
Yeah, exactly. But what I really
That's
wanted to
funny.
talk about is the primary uniforms. The New Jersey Devils, through, all the, I guess, all probably the late 80s, all through the 90s until the 2000s, 2010s, they had a kind of a basic uniform with a typical shoulder yoke. And I realize the shoulder yokes now are squared off because of the Adidas and now Fanatics template of the jersey, but in the past they were kind of rounded off. The the sleeve stripes were the same, but they had similar sleeve stripes going across, or similar striping going across the bottom of the uniform as like a hem stripe. When Reebok came in, they got rid of that. And for whatever reason, after all the years of, Adidas kind of correcting Reebok's craziness with uniforms and all that, they never brought back a proper white, black, white stripe across the bottom of the jersey there. And it pisses me off, to be frank.
Yeah.
It was so simple. It is such a good look. It is such a traditional hockey look to have those stripes across the sleeve and the bottom, the hem, that match. And like they're this close. And that's, I think, why it pisses me off. They're this close, but they just couldn't get it done. Just
Yeah, lame.
luckily, this jersey is being retired, so we will never have to see that again. But give your head a shake, New Jersey.
While we're talking about Jersey, I really love the green and red. Unless it's jade and red, Jeremy. Maybe it's
it's
emerald.
it's Christmas green and Christmas red. No, I'm just making
It
something
does look
up.
like Christmas green.
Um,
It looks like the green Santa Claus originally wore.
you're referring to, of course, these uniforms here.
Yeah, and I love the
Yeah,
white trim around the yoke. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Those were good uniforms too. Of course, this is the uniform set that I'm referring to that are the traditional kind of look that
Right.
this disappeared. And anyways, on to your choice for next disliked uniform.
My next dislike
Hmm.
is the 2024 All-Star Game jersey. I just think this looks ridiculous. It
This,
looks like 8-year-olds came up with it, and I don't like the yeah. I
There's
don't like
nothing.
it. It
Yeah.
sucks. It feels like it's out of a Sailor Moon cartoon. And
I
that's not
love
to
it.
say I don't like anime. I just like, and like the bubble. I don't like bubble letters. That's like
Yeah.
one away from Comic Sans.
And I don't like the name under the numbers.
No, it looks like a sponsor.
Yeah. The stripes down the side of the the shoulders down the arms are clearly the Adidas three stripes, which is Adidas was the uniform supplier. I get it. The NHL tends to allow the uniform suppliers to go a little crazy to do something different
No,
for
they
the
don't.
All-Star
Your
game.
logo's on it. Get out of here. It's not about you. Yeah, you
I
supply the jersey. Put your little icon on there
I
and
agree.
like do something for hockey.
Mhm.
Not your stupid.
The,
You don't need your
the
hockey pants to look like tearaways from 1999.
yeah, I agree with that. And the stars on the star on the NHL shield
You,
is
you, you think you get it? Maybe
yeah,
we need some more stars somewhere.
yeah. This was, and we've talked about All-Star games in previous episodes, but this was one of the years where they did the four-team tournament thing. So we
Oh
got
yeah,
quadruple the amount of ugliness this year, and yeah, you'll get no arguments from me
yeah.
on how much this sucked. My second favorite uniform, I mean, come on. Since I believe
Oh, you went with the toilet seat.
1913,
Interesting.
the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, this is an iconic uniform that's had very little change in over 100 years now. Um, the early years of the Canadians, there was some experimentation, but I believe it's somewhere in the range of the 1910s they came up with this uniform set, and it's remained this way. The white uniform with the logo and the blue and white stripe across the bottom and the red shoulder yoke and the traditional stripe across the chest with the logo on it on the red uniform. It's beautiful, and there's no reason to ever change it, and there's no reason to think they will ever change it.
It's one of those things. Is like you can't.
No, you can't.
You know,
You're right.
it's
I
too. It's too iconic. It's too synonymous with hockey. Um, hockey glory. Like when you think of, and even like Canadiana, like just the Canadian icon, and that's what comes up.
yeah.
More. I would argue more so than the Leafs.
Oh,
People might hate me for
100%.
that, but like
Oh, this
it's
team's been around longer than the Leafs.
when you think of a
They've
hockey sweater, that's typically what you would see.
there is a book, a famous Canadian
We
book
have it for Lachlan.
called I have it for the girls. It called The Hockey Sweater, and it's about a kid who orders his new Canadians uniform from Eaton's. Look it up,
Monsieur Eaton.
kids. Uh, and is more than disappointed, devastated, I think,
Horrified.
when he gets a Leafs jersey. This is this is the jersey. This is just I don't anyone that tells me this is ugly,
It's a
frankly,
toilet seat. The logo is a
the
toilet seat.
logo is another
You can't get
argument.
around it,
It's hard to argue, yeah.
but
Maybe they should
it
put
is
the A
beautifully
back
constructed,
in
and I
instead
hear
of
what you're
the
saying.
H. Yeah, it's just a beautiful uniform, and I year after year there's online polls of what's your favorite uniform, what's your favorite logo, and Montreal always ends up as one of the top ones, and why wouldn't they?
Yeah,
Speaking of
for a part of
all,
Canada, that's so much more than a hockey thing. You know what I mean? It's just like a
it's a culture thing, yeah,
culture thing. That's a good way of putting it.
yeah. Your next pick to foreshadow very briefly is probably, I would argue, is in the same category as this. Let you
It's
take it
yeah,
away.
it's pretty close. Like
Yeah.
I really like this the red. They've the red and black and white. And like red and black, it's such a boring scheme. There's so many teams that do it. Being in
Yeah.
Canada, like the Team Canada thing, they've tried
Oh,
all sorts of different combinations, and I don't think you can beat this. We talked about like the stripe at the bottom. Like when you think of like red, black, and white stripes, you think of this. You
yes,
think of the
exactly.
Chicago Blackhawks jersey and
Yeah.
kit. So it's and I love how it looks, and I think Team Canada should just rip off their jersey for one iteration and
Yeah.
run with it. Like it's I wouldn't say it's up there with the Canadians jersey in terms of cultural significance
No, but
for
in
us, but
terms,
it's a great looking jersey.
yeah, and in terms of being a thing where the very early years of the Chicago Blackhawks, they played around with uniform styles a bit, but once they landed on this has been it. They
Oh yeah,
haven't they haven't deviated from it. The same with the Blackhawks logo, and I know there's a little bit of controversy behind it now. The whole native imagery thing that is a hot topic in professional sports. Um, but uh, uh, for clarification, the guy that started the Blackhawks, the original owner, was um, he was in the U.S. I believe it was the U.S. Army, might have been the Air Force. I can't recall. But the squad he was in was called, the 22nd Blackhawks,
right.
which was named for Chief Blackhawk, and
Mm.
that's what the land around Chicago is was that I guess his that chief's land. Um, so it is a little bit of one of those where it's kind of what it's certainly not a Washington Redskins scenario where
Or a
it's
Cleveland Indians thing.
yeah, it's a little bit more removed, but yeah, it's two steps away as opposed to a direct thing. But regardless, we don't need to get into that topic today. The point is, um, that's where the name comes from. It's where this logo comes from, and it's again going back to the Montreal Canadiens comparison. It's been there for so long that you can't change it, and it's beautiful, just like the
You don't
Canadiens.
need to.
You
There's
don't.
sometimes where it's like I felt
Got
like
it.
the Leafs logo for a long time. Like you can't change it, but it's boring to me.
Leafs logo's been changed over the years, though.
It has, but like
Yeah,
the logo, like growing up, when it was just like the plainest maple leaf you ever saw,
yeah, like on the
just
Canada
Toronto Maple
flag.
Leafs.
Yeah,
In one sense, that's the logo I will always relate to them when I think of the Leafs. But like their
sure.
modern iteration is better to me.
It's a better rendered logo, no doubt. I think their current uniforms are more boring than the ones that we grew up with, but we're not. We didn't put the Leafs on their good or bad list. Um,
There's just it's just very mid,
yeah,
which is a
yeah,
shame because it should be up here with the Blackhawks and Canadians, but
it
and they're
should.
like my
Yeah,
home team, but it's to me it's not even close.
yeah,
Partially
agreed.
probably because it's just blue and white, but like it should be like the blue and white team you think of, but it's not.
Yeah, no, that's Tampa Bay. Okay, not really, but moving back to the worst list, what do we got here? We
This is
have
the
got
worst of the worst now.
we are moved to the worst of the worst,
You
and
found a
I
good
have
one. You found a good one.
chosen the 2007 2000. Well,
A
it
bad one. You
lasted
found a
for
bad one.
yeah, it lasted a bit longer than '08, but they added a third jersey in those times. But the
So this is the same Reebok Edge era that you were
this
talking about
is
earlier.
fun fact. The
Oh,
last year before Reebok took over, the Sabres released this new logo and went back to the old blue and gold. Well, not the old blue, but the idea of having a blue and gold cover. color scheme.
Right.
Obviously, the old blue was more of a royal blue, and this is more of a navy blue. And they brought over the silver from the black, silver, and red era with the,
Right.
like you
When
think
they were
of
probably most
Dominic
successful.
Hasek. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So Reebok designed, well, not on their own, with the Buffalo Sabres, designed this logo, knowing that the following year after this was released, they would have the new uniforms. And this uniform was meant to be like the showcase of the Reebok Edge, what it can do, what's new. That's why you have these weird gray stripes coming up and down. That's why you see the first instance of a number on the front of an NHL jersey. That's why you don't see any type of hem stripe around the bottom here, which is a traditional hockey sweater thing.
Right.
That's why you have what I call the pit stain, which is under the arm onto like
That is the
the,
cleanest pit stain I've ever seen.
yeah, but that's what you've got there. That was a design element that I never made sense, to me, anyways. Um, the idea was the gray stripe comes to a point at the bottom of the jersey and then connects to the top of the pants, coming into this vertical
Oh,
pants stripe. It also ends on the back of the shoulders, on the back of the uniform. Everything about this uniform is clearly experimental. Reebok went crazy and they said, Buffalo, we're choosing you to be our guinea pig
this
for the
guy's gonna get it right.
uniform. On top of that, this logo, I realized that it's supposed to be a jumping buffalo.
You get that?
That's that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Okay. I kind of see
Okay?
it if I squint. Get really close to the
Can I
monitor.
ask you a quick question, Garrett?
What's that?
What is the team's nickname?
The Sabres.
Where's the saber in this logo?
Oh, hold on. I can't see it there. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Do
The
do 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 do
I'll
do
answer that
do
for you. You see this
do.
blue like stripe thing here coming out of the horn?
One sec. The blue. That's the Sabre.
When the logo was released and they did like the explanation as to what the logo is supposed to be, the horn was supposed to double as the handle, and this blue thing here was supposed to be the saber. Now,
Oh.
let's think about the original Buffalo Sabres and now current Buffalo Sabres logo. It's a circle, the
Yeah.
white buffalo, and two cross saber swords.
Right.
There could not be a more literal depiction of your team's name, Buffalo Sabres.
It's true.
This is, it looks like a slug to me, not
But
a
like a Sabre
buffalo.
doesn't even go
And
the
there's
same way as the handle.
exactly, it doesn't look like a saber and it doesn't look like a buffalo. It looks like a slug that has a horn. And for that reason,
Buffalo horned slugs.
I hate this uniform. And they couldn't even do the right shade of blue. Like, come on, guys. Get out of here.
That's so funny.
It is just garbage. I'm done with my soapbox rant about this stupid uniform. On to your last choice for the bad
Okay, I don't have the
uniforms.
same sort of vitriol against this uniform. I'm picking the New York Islanders circa was it 07, 08 that I picked? Uh
uh, 02 to
you
07 is
could
what
you
we
could
have up there,
friggin'
but
throw a rock and hit an Islanders jersey I don't like. Like I don't enjoy navy and orange just makes me nauseous.
really,
I don't like the little sharp points in the jersey and jersey number 3. I don't enjoy it. I don't like the logo. I think it's an ugly logo. You know, It was definitely phoned in. Oh, the New York Islanders. Okay, well, we'll do NY, and then we'll attach a hockey stick to it, and then all right, we'll put in the orange turd. No, that's not a turd. Let's make it the island. Oh, because we're the Islanders. Boom, done. Money, please.
I
I like logos where you can look at them and get an idea for, oh, this is like what it is, but this is a little too on the nose for me, and I
okay.
don't enjoy the color scheme. And another knock is they have like a black and white Islanders jersey that's supposed to look like the Brooklyn Nets jersey. And I was like,
When
don't do
when
that.
they
You're the
played in the
hockey
Nets
team. Don't
arena.
like cozy up to the NBA team because you're New York #2 team. Don't do that.
Yeah. The Islanders have had a very interesting uniform
I prefer the
history.
Fisherman's Friend logo.
Well, let's just go to the Islanders'
Pull it up.
complete uniform history and let's talk about it because the Islanders got it right in two, if you ask
And I'll
me.
say I don't like the navy and orange for the Oilers either. I think that sucks too.
Navy and orange for the Oilers should never have happened.
No.
And yeah, I
You are
agree.
on the cusp of achieving like the Blackhawks Canadians
Yeah.
status with your jersey,
And then they
and you just
screwed with
smear
it.
it with navy and orange. Oh, it's navy's. Navy's cool.
Yeah.
Let's be dark.
But that's what happened, right? And so the Islanders had I understand you don't like the logo. I don't love it particularly either, but it is the logo of the Islanders outside of a very brief period of time. So I will give them points for sticking with it almost through the entire history of the team, minus a couple years. They had these nice, not not royal blue, but a darker, not navy blue uniform, and I think that color works well with the orange.
It's
And
cerulean, Jeremy.
thank you. I
I
forgot
made
about
that up.
that.
That's from The Devil Wears Prada.
uh, but it was a look that they held on to for a long time, and then the '90s happened, and straight up, these uniforms, unapologetically, I love them. I think the logo, even though it looks like the Captain Highliner fish sticks logo,
Fisherman,
um,
yep,
I,
I get it.
I still think it's fun. I still think it gives you what you need in terms of, yeah, this is a fisherman from the island. I get it. The wavy pattern, striping pattern was something different. Um,
I wonder how that looked on like a body. It's one thing looking at like a two-dimensional thing, like, oh, it looks like waves, but I wonder how that looked like in real life. I didn't have to pull it up, but sure. But I like it. I like the swoop. I do like it in
mhm.
theory. Um, oh, and in that one they kind of just changed it to like a diagonal line.
Yeah,
You
it's hard
can't
to,
see the part I'm talking about on that one though.
yeah. Here we go. It's a tiny, see if this gives us a better, no.
Hmm.
Speaking of sports
Oh,
logos
scroll down a
going that,
second. I think there's a picture there. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to be, I don't know if we, yeah, I can't get any bigger. You kind of get an idea with this picture, but here we go.
There you go.
There you
Hey, you
go.
know what? That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Um, the numbers on the back were a little weird because you have
There's
the name
yeah.
font kind of matching the swoopiness, and the second number is bigger than
That
the
part's
first
hard.
one. So I get why it was one of those things that didn't last long. People didn't like it. Um, but the funny part was after only a couple years, they went back to the old logo. So they just pasted the old logo on the new uniform.
They really committed to it, but the fans just hated that
Oh, they hate it
Highlander fish
was
sticks guy so much.
they did. They absolutely did. So they went back to that.
I can understand why. Like if you fix up the the fish sticks guy a little bit, so it's just not an open rip off of that. I think that
Mhm.
logo works.
Well, and the funny thing is, more recently, there we go. The NHL had a series called Reverse Retro, which was the idea was you would take either a current uniform and color it in old colors of the franchise, or take an old uniform and put it in the current colors of a franchise or something. It's
Right.
mixing eras kind of thing. And they came up with this thing. And it really fixed a lot of the problems with that uniform set in the sense that this stripe isn't super wavy, so the number thing isn't happening. This is straight, so the nameplate thing isn't kind of wavy.
Yeah.
And they colored it in a more a darker color scheme, not like that kind of teal and light blue kind of color scheme
Right.
when it came to the logo. And I think it works.
You know what? I was ripping on navy and orange earlier, but this works.
Mhm. All that said, going back to your point, the Islanders have had a weird blip in the 90s through till 2010 of bad uniforms and using the dark colors and all that. And I agree, this was not a good look on
It,
the
it's
on
it's
the
it's the
Islanders.
predominantly the orange dominant
Yeah,
jersey there
yeah.
and their logo.
And
So
there's no reason for this. It's from what I recall at that period of time, it was just like there wasn't even an explanation for it. It's just we did this.
crotch chops were big at that time.
I guess so. All right, my favorite NHL uniform of all time. It was the last iteration of the
Oh,
Hartford
that's a great
Whalers.
one. That's a great one.
The logo, first of all, the fantastic use of negative space to have the H in
Negative
here.
space. Come on here. You didn't do like a
Absolute.
graphic design degree,
No, I should have, but I didn't.
but you
But
did
it's
have art
there.
class with Al Grun.
That's another story. But yeah, the H is in there. You've got the W for the whalers. You got the whale tail. It's a fantastic logo to begin with. When they moved away from the just green and white and they brought in the blue and the silver, I thought it completed the look. Pucky the whale is nowhere to be seen on this uniform, unfortunately. That was
There
their
was a Pucky the whale.
Pucky the whale was their like secondary logo. Let's see. You can kind of see him on the shoulders here. It was a very simple whale. It's just he was also a mascot,
Oh, it looks like a thumb.
but this was the logo. Just very simple. And that was so he disappeared in this last iteration of
Kind of looks like a
the
guy bending
Oilers
over in
uniform.
hockey pants. I'm just kidding.
Here we go again. But the color scheme stayed true to the Whalers' history. The striping patterns are
I love the
work
silver.
perfectly. Like it's just a
Silver
beautiful
green.
uniform with
Is
a
that
beautiful
jade? Is that
logo.
emerald?
It's just blue, gray, and green.
Okay. Mr. Negative Space.
It's there. Um, yeah. Eh, there will never be a team in Hartford again. The proximity to Boston is too close. There's no desire to build another arena from what I understand. The population base isn't big enough, all that kind of stuff. But it's a shame because even though the Carolina Hurricanes do use the odd throwback jersey here and there, it's a shame that we don't get to see this uniform on a regular basis.
How is this different from the Canucks? 'Cause it's very similar, but for our fan base, how would you say? Is it just the silver that kind of distinguishes it from Vancouver? Because Vancouver is using a very similar color scheme right now.
Yeah, the color scheme is very similar. I agree with that. Obviously, there's no silver, as you say. The striping is a lot more simple on the Canucks uniform, though I do like that one of the things they've done. Let's look this up quickly here. With, I believe it's the blue, no, it's the white uniform that they have this blue kind of at the end of it,
Yeah.
which is the silver at the end of this. So yeah, there's some similarities, absolutely.
It's weird
Um,
how much nicer that Whalers jersey looks.
it's just a case of the striping pattern, in my opinion, that looks better. And then you also have the numbers on the back having well, they're three tones, right? Whereas on the Canucks, it's just the one.
Right.
So there you go. That's my all-time favorite NHL uniform, and we're moving on to your all-time favorite. And guess who's back?
Guess who's back? It's Eggplant and Jade again.
Hmm.
I talked about the Mighty Ducks logo. I never had a paper route to buy this jersey in my youth. Paul Kariya was a big deal back in the day. It's such a fun logo, and it's such a nostalgic thing too. And the
Hmm.
movies, and like the fact that they became a real team. And the goalie jumping out of the ice does it for me. It's
Wild
bonkers,
Wing,
and I
yeah.
love it.
So in 1990, it must have been 95, the NHL introduced their first set of third jerseys. So before that, there were not any alternate uniforms. You had your home jersey, you had your away jersey. That was it. And one of the first ones, along with Los Angeles, Boston, and I think the Canucks. Anyways, one of the first is this Wild Wing jumping out of the ice uniform, and
Is
for
his name
me,
Wild Wing?
yeah, he's the mascot of the Mighty
Fifth
Ducks.
sponsor of our show. Shout out to Wild Wings, Georgetown.
um, it was so the logo of or the design of Wild Wing is not a like crest sewn on to the front. It's sublimated, it's printed on the jersey.
Oh, okay.
And it was one of the first NHL jerseys to do that, along with all those other third jerseys at that period of time that happened when they first introduced the third jersey program. The crazy font on the back, it's experimental, right? And as a as a kid, watching hockey, this was just cool, right?
Yeah,
That like it was just
that's the
fun
cartoon
and
character from the
different.
show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Wild Wing. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, we've said all we can say about it, even to the specific color names, the shade of green and purple. Uh, I think there's a theme. We really like silver trim, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I guess so. Well, I appreciate you indulging my Jersey
You can
nerdiness.
call off your goons now.
I
They're scaring Lachlan.
all right, I'll call them off. Uh,
You're Jersey nerd goons.
um, next week, I'd like to tease what I'd like to talk about.
Ooh,
There was part of reading this book I was talking about, there was the most interesting lineage of groups of NHL teams. Um, and I'll explain what happened between the California slash Oakland slash Bay Area Golden Seals. slash Cleveland Barons slash Minnesota North Stars slash San Jose Sharks slash Dallas Stars, and how all those teams actually are linked together.
Oh,
It's a very interesting story, and it was one I kind of knew a little bit about, but reading this book recently shed some more light onto it, and it's crazy how everything played out. So there's your teaser for next week.
oh,
You got a little taste. And so until then, have a good week. Thank you again, and like, subscribe on Apple iTunes and all those Spotify, all those
smash that
podcasts.
notification bell.
Yeah. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.